All right, this is another rack injector. We call these pre-assembled racks. It's a standard injection system that you can order as the basic components, and you can install it yourself, or you can order it as a pre-assembled rack, and we will assemble as much of it as possible here, and then you will ship you the rack, and you can post it somewhere, and you just have to bring it power and do a little plumbing. So I'm going to review it here a little bit. This is the controller interface up here. Screensaver kicked in. These are the jug fill ports. You can see press no to fill a jug, no to fill a jug, which additive, Cetane Express or Winter Express. So this is additive 1, which in this case is Cetane Express. This is additive 2, Winter Express. So if I select that, it's going to do a jug fill procedure, which we typically do as a setting in the controller for how much. So here, if I pick Cetane Express, it says if I press 1, it's going to do the default of 2.5 gallons, or I can press and enter my own amount. The 2.5 gallon preset is a field settable parameter. But yeah, you just set your jug there. It's got a check valve with a 1/2 pound spring just to keep it from dripping when it's done. Got a little catch basin here. Got a magnet to hold the lid open. The lid is there to keep rain out. Let's see, looking on the back side, this is going to be additive 1, that's going to be additive 2, that's going to be additive 1, that's going to be additive 2. These are the pumps. The pumps have a pressure bypass, 44 pounds, adjustable by changing this to a different spring. This is your suction port on both. We send it out with a strainer for that. Discharge from the pump goes up to this, what we call we typically call it a pump module. We're usually talking about it as on a mobile system, which actually has the pump in it. I guess in this case it's not actually a pump module, it's more of a metering module. I'm going to open flow. Let me open the lid here. So I've got the lid open. You can see that's all in here is a meter, 2 solenoid valves for the tanks if you're doing tank deliveries, and then the solenoid valve for the jug fill. So when you do the jug fill, the additive will go in here, pass through the meter so we know how much is going, and it'll use this valve to begin and end the jug fill operation. These are 12-volt DC coil relay solenoid valves that are used for the inbound delivery, additizing that. So I'm going to show you that procedure in the controller. I'm going to get this lid back on. We've got our phone number everywhere. So looking at the rest of the pump module, this is the 2 ports for the additive going out to the tank. This again is the jug fill. You can see the back side of the jug fill ports. Alright, so if I'm going to use these, it's going to be tank 1, tank 2. We can customize that to whatever. So I'm going to abort out of this, and I'm going to say yes to begin a delivery. I'm going to deliver 5,000 gallons of fuel, and I want you to put in additive 1 while I'm doing that. And I want you to put it in tank 1 or 2. Now this one has tank 3 as a third option. We've only built the modules to offer tank 1 and 2. So if I pick tank 1, now it's going to, it calculated that based on 5,000 gallons of fuel, The treat rate that's programmed in here is 1 to 1,000 for both additives. By default, it's field adjustable. So it calculated that that's 5 gallons of additive. Yes to begin. So now it has begun. It's only pumping air, but it's begun to inject additive. It says how long it's taking. I can abort it by hitting that, but it's pushing air out of this port right here. If I put my finger on it, you'll be able to see the meter is no longer flowing. I'm going to lift my finger off. Now it's flowing again. So it's going to get to 5 gallons of air and click off. When it clicks off, it will also record a record to this flash drive. So this is our board that runs the system. The flash drive that records everything on. Flash drive can be used also to update the software in here. If you decide, like, you've got it listed as tank 1 and 2, but if you decide your tank numbers need to be 4 and 8, we can send you new software that changes those numbers. This computer here is running the HDMI display for us. You can see the HDMI display back there. We've got the mechanical relays that are turning the pumps on and the jug fill solenoid valves. 12-volt power supply. Everything's wired and tested. You can still see we're at about 2.3 gallons. But I'm gonna hit no to abort it. And it's writing that record to the flash drive. Here's the magnet that holds the lid up when you're doing a jug fill. It's about a 6-foot tall device. This is the pump module for the other additive. Not sure what else there is to go over. I'm just powering it off of this 110 volt cord here. When it's installed in the field, somebody needs to bring 110 volts to this, hook it to these wires, which are obviously hot, neutral, and ground, and that'll get everything powered. The plumbing you'll have to do is you'll have to plumb the suction, and you have to plumb these discharges out to your tanks. Not a lot of effort for the installer. Everything else is done. So that's our rack mounted injector. We think it's pretty cool. Oh, if the meters ever jam up, these are access plates. So you can take the plate off and clean any debris out of that meter. That's there for both of the additive pump modules. So it is maintainable in the event of a problem. The end.